Hi guys, and welcome to another batch of your replays, and we are going low tier Japanese today. We are kicking off with this game on Arctic with cjacey, and he is in a tier 4 Japanese tank. It's a Chihi. It's the medium tank as opposed to the Kiho, which is a tier 4 light tank. But the Chihi is a tank that is basically a tank I didn't enjoy playing very much first time around, but it's okay. As I say, it's Arctic 67% or so, a very nice matchup for this tank. cjacey is top tier in a tier 4 game, but it's a very tier 4 game. Now, as much as I dislike Japanese tanks and make my view on Japanese tanks, at least the lower tier ones, publicly available, I will admit that the Japanese tanks have two main strengths, and that is their gun depression, and that is their gun. Most Japanese tanks have a very punchy gun, and cjacey is going to be basically showing you that Japanese tanks are best played passively. So he's picked up a first kill on M8A1 by setting him on fire. He's just tracked to PZ3A, and he's going to work. So he is playing a Japanese tank passively, and really most of my best results in Japanese tanks have been doing the same thing. The reason I don't like them is it just goes against my playstyle to be in a medium tank and not play it like a medium tank, but cjacey has no problems. He's just taken out an M5 Stuart for kill number 2. Unfortunately hit an ally, but he's just going to work. You can see the rate of fire is good. The accuracy is decent, the gun depression is very good, and he's just picked up kill number 3. So the guns on Japanese tanks are very good. 87mm of penetration, 75 alpha damage on a tier 4 medium tank is pretty good. But as I say, the Japanese tanks have no armor. It is really all about the gun and the gun depression. They're also not very maneuverable, so it's very difficult to play them as traditional medium tanks. You've constantly got to be aware that you don't have any armor. But cjacey is on 638 health or damage, 3 kills, and he's not done. He's not done by a long shot. So PZ1C is advancing, and even a PZ1C is going to have problems penning a lightly armored Japanese tank from distance. So as you can see, basically the cjacey's team have won the north, but they've lost the south. There's only cjacey and a Marder 38T holding back the flood of enemy tanks down on the corner. But cjacey's in a very strong position. Unfortunately misses his shot on the PZ1C. And he's going to see if he can get shots maybe on the M3 Lee, but it looks as if the M3 Lee is advanced. So cjacey is advancing. There's a Valentine AT and a Marder 38T defending the south, so cjacey's decided to flank. He's decided to go north, and a very dangerous Su-85B has been spotted. So once again, cjacey's able to go to work. And there's kill number 4. So cjacey is constantly playing this tank as a sniper. He's staying well back. M3 Lee is either tunnel visioning or doesn't have the view range to spot cjacey. But he's up to 1k damage, 4 kills. And finally, M3 Lee must have lost view range, so cjacey's able to get another couple of shots in. And now he's going to work on enemy RT. So rapid firing, decent penetration. Gets cjacey's 5th kill. Going to work on the T46. Gets lucky with the first shot. Tracks the T46 in place. And this blistering rate of fire means that cjacey's able to pick up his top gun. Now, it's a lower tier game, he's shooting some lower tier tanks, so that means even if he has a huge game, he's not going to get a Pools medal or a Radley Walters. And you can see the poor engine power there, struggling to push down a tree. But he's continuing to keep his distance. He's playing his tanks to its strengths. He's playing his tank to its view range. And its gun. Fortunately missing quite a few shots. But he's out of view range of all of these tanks. He's just picked up kill number 7. Blind shot takes out the T-82 for kill number 8. And he did have shots on the cruiser. A little bit surprised he turned around there without going for the cruiser. But the enemy team are down to 2 tanks. We know that the M2 medium was last spotted on the 9-0 lines. We know that there's a Matilda in spawn. So 8 kills, 1700 damage in a tier 4 game. And he hasn't taken a single point of damage yet. So, as much as I dislike Japanese tanks, I think when you play them like this, you play them to their strengths, use their gun depression and use their view range, you can have very, very good games in them. And another kill for cjacey. That's a friendly hit from an M5 Stuart. So the first damage that's been done to cjacey has been a friendly fire incident. But he's up to 1800 damage, almost 1900 damage, 9 kills. M5 Stuart says sorry, that's nice. So cjacey is looking for kill number 10. 1 enemy tank left. And really, this is a perfect showcase on how to play a Japanese tank. Great guns, decent gun depression, the view range is okay. I don't think cjacey's using binocs on his tank. I don't know whether he's got coated optics. I would usually use binocs on most of my Japanese tanks, at least the lower tier ones, but cjacey doesn't seem to have binocs equipped. But he's just looking for his final victim. And there we go, a full health Matilda. Unfortunately, he's in a dip. cjacey's going to have to advance. And if this Matilda is fully upgraded, cjacey's going to have some problems. Especially if he gets spotted. So cjacey's playing very, very cautiously. I think he really, really wants 10 kills out of this game. He's waiting for the M5 Stuart to go in and flush out the Matilda. Inching forward very, very slowly, trying to pick up the Matilda with his view range. And he's going to be using the bushes. Needs to wait for the bushes to go clear. Finally moves up, finally spots the Matilda. He does get spotted. But he's got the penetration, he switched to premium ammo. He's not taking any chances with this Matilda. He's got the view range, he's got the rate of fire, and he's got the penetration with his premium ammo to tear that Matilda apart. There is 2.2k damage, 10 kills in a tier 4 Japanese medium tank. So a really, really nice demonstration of how to get the best out of your Japanese tanks, especially at the lower tiers. It was an ace tanker, not surprisingly, and even though cjacey did pick up 10 kills, he only got a top gun because some of his kills were on lower tier tanks. But he finished top on XP with 1408 XP, did 2,230 damage and 10 kills. Really, really nice game. 52 shots fired, 39 hits, 38 penetrations. So as you can see, the penetration on the gun is very, very good. He received 11 hits, unsurprisingly for a Japanese tank, managed to bounce 8 of them. But I suppose a PZ-1C shooting at distance doesn't really count. He didn't spot any tanks, but he damaged 12, destroyed 10. He didn't do a lot of assistance damage either. He was killing most of what he was spotting himself, so only 5 assistance damage. 23,000 credits earned for a really, really big game. I don't know why, what replays is messed up down here. some problem with the site, but he earned 2,113 base XP with a premium account on a ×2, which left him on 4,224 XP. Really, really nice low-tier Japanese game, cjacey. Congratulations. Next up, we've got a game sent in by Stefan DK in the Tiki, the Tier 2 Japanese premium tank that was given out as a free gift for Wargaming's 13th anniversary. And the reason I like this replay, or the reason I'm including it, is Stefan sent in this replay along with a message. He actually sent in a few Tiki replays, but he basically thanked me for the Tiki review and said that after watching the Tiki review and taking my advice and the way I played the tank, or what worked for me, he decided to take his Tiki out for some more games, and he had a lot of very, very good games, picked up a few ace tankers, and he thanked me for the review. And it's really, really nice to hear that even if my review helps just one player, that makes all the time and effort needed to write a review or record a review worth it. So Stefan is going to be playing his Tiki pretty much like the first replay, where he's playing it passively as a sniper. He's just done his first damage on a PZ1. It's an all tier 2 game here on Mines. Now, he's using auto-aim, which he probably doesn't need to aim or use. Auto-aim is usually only best to use if you are going to be shooting while you're moving, or maybe shooting a stationary target. I really don't recommend using auto-aim on tanks that are moving while you're sniping. But Stefan does pick up his first kill, and unfortunately, he doesn't have Sixth Sense. He was spotted. He did get shot by a Cruiser 3 in the distance, so he's going to see if he can get some revenge. And he's going to work. So, just like the first replay, this is a Tier 2 Japanese tank, so not much armor. And he's going for some more blind shots, but just like the previous replay, for a Tier 2, this gun has 40 millimeters of penetration and decent alpha damage with a nice rate of fire. Now, its accuracy isn't great due to the fact it's only a Tier 2, but it's good enough. But I really, really do enjoy seeing you guys play tanks I've reviewed well. So once again, he's moved forward, he's got binocs, he's got a camo net, he's using it as a sniper. There's a T-26 to his left, he spotted him. And again, he's using auto-aim on a moving target, and he probably shouldn't. So he's not using auto-aim now, and as a result, he picks up the kill. So there's kill number 2. T1E6 is stuck on rocks in front of him. But the rate of fire allows Stefan DK pick up kill number 3. Now, you could see he actually glanced behind him, and that's because on the minimap his team are losing the north of the map in a big way. So he's hanging around, seeing if he can maybe finish off the Cruiser 3, but someone else does. And he decides, and it's really, really nice to see in a lower tier game, he decides to turn around because he knows that there are going to be enemy tanks rolling into his spawn. Very, very rare to see map awareness like this in a low tier game. But in the meantime, he's going for some shots on the rear of a T-18. So it's not the most accurate gun, and as you can see, the shell travel time is quite long. Shell loops over the top of the T-18, but he realizes that there's danger from the north. And again, he's going to be playing passively, he's going to be sniping. He's moving up to these bushes, and he's going to be hitting the enemy tanks from distance. So he's using his camo, he's going to be using his binocs, and he's going to be using his gun. So he's just going to go to work on all of these tanks advancing from the north. So it's just him and a T-18 defending against at least 4 enemy tanks. And Stefan is just going to go to work. Doesn't have a lot to shoot at, But thankfully, the medium 2s and the medium 1 are tall tanks. So again, Japanese tank. Not that maneuverable. Poor armor, but decent gun depression and a decent gun. So the two replays I'm showing you today are very similar in a lot of ways. Fortunately, aims that one badly, but he's still going to work here. And the T-60 is a more dangerous tank. It's more well armored, especially from the front. But thankfully, Stefan has taken out another T-60 or another tank for kill number 5. 674 damage. Now that may not seem much, but in a low tier game, that's quite a lot of damage. Misses a Top Gun opportunity on the medium 1. He's going to let his T-18 take him out. So he's on 5 kills. The enemy T-18's on 5 kills, so it's a showdown on who can get Top Gun. And we know that the T-18 was last spotted heading back towards enemy spawn. So we'll speed it up because the friendly T-18 is also... I thought he was going to be advancing. No, enemy T-18 is deciding to sit. Okay, finally they're advancing. Basically, usually in a situation like this, you want to try and stick together. You want to advance together at the same time, because if you go and attack one by one, there's a very good chance you're going to give the victory to the enemy tank who's camping. But thankfully, Stefan and his T-18 buddy are moving in. And no sign of the T-18 on the enemy team yet. So we'll put it back down to normal mode. So the question is, who's going to get Top Gun? Or is the friendly T-18 going to steal Top Gun? Stefan moves up, spots the enemy T-18. He is a one-hit kill, but he's aiming at the weak spot, takes him out. T-18 misses, and there is Stefan DK's Top Gun in a Tiki. So that was another ace tanker from a few Tiki ace tankers that Stefan sent in. And as I say, it's really, really nice to see someone taking my advice, whether it's good or bad, on board and doing better in their tanks. Thank you for thanking me for the review, Stefan, and thank you for sending in the replays. This is the one I liked the most. It was a good game on mines, showing pretty much like the first replay that Japanese tanks are very, very good passive tanks. They're very, very good snipers, and Stefan proved that with that particular replay. So it was a Top Gun in a tier 2 game. Stefan finished first with 936 XP. That's a big XP total on a low tier tank. 731 damage. Again, doesn't seem amazing, but on a tier 2, that's a big damage game, and 6 kills. Stefan fired 36 and he only hit 20. And if I've got one piece of advice from that replay, Stefan, and for anyone else who's watching who may be new to the game, is if you are auto-aiming, that's basically right-clicking on the target so that your gun reticule automatically follows the enemy tank, it is usually best to only auto-aim if you are shooting at a stationary target or if you're on the move. If you're the one who's stationary and you're the one who's sniping, it's usually best just to use manual aim. Auto-aim will cause you to miss shots if you are stationary and the enemy tanks are moving. But he did hit 20 and pen 19, so the penetration on the gun is very, very good, just like most Japanese tanks. If it hits, it will usually pen and do damage. Stefan spotted 3, he damaged 10, destroyed 6, did 161 assistance damage, wasn't playing with a premium account, but still earned 13,000 credits. So thank you very much for sending that in, Stefan. It is really, really appreciated that you thanked me for the review and was able to send me in some games as evidence that you were playing the tank much, much better as a result of watching the video. It makes it all worthwhile. So thank you to Stefan, thank you to cjacey for sending in those Japanese tanks replays. I know it's a low tier game, but I'm not picky. My channel will cover every tank from tier 1 to tier 10, including Arty. I will cover as many aspects of World of Tanks as I can. So thank you guys at home for watching, and I'll see you next time.